Hi there, Jen Russell here with more tips and ideas on how to move well and feel better in your body. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about our feet. When I did my original training in massage therapy, I always liked working on people's feet because it's an area of the body that I think gets ignored far too often. And I saw it as an opportunity to engage in the rest and digest side of the nervous system, the parasympathetic side. My classmates, when I was in massage school, we used to joke that the moment you work on someone's feet, they often would just immediately fall asleep. It's very relaxing. Not always. But as I've come to learn as I furthered my education in gait, movement assessment, better load sharing, optimizing our movement patterns, I've come to understand that the way that our feet move or don't is really, really crucial to our ability to load share up the kinetic chain. Because if we don't move well through our feet and our ankles, we're often moving inefficiently at our knee joint, our hip joint, our low back, even our neck can be affected by our feet. So the ideas I'm going to go through today are super general. They could be utilized for any of you, even if you're someone who has plantar fasciitis, bunions, hammer toes, arthritis. You might need to just adjust some of these movements and just start out really gently if this is something you really haven't done much before. I'm going to be looking at 3 ideas. The first is going to be just general, creating more movement and awareness of our feet, our toes, and our ankles. And this is something you can do, and I just recently have been getting a little bit more into this, and I do this every morning if I can. I'm trying to give you ideas that you could do either first thing in the morning when you're just waking up, or as part of a bedtime routine, because I don't want to add something else in your day that you have to think about. Because I think I find with clients, I'm often giving them things like just 2 minutes throughout the day, just 2 minutes here or there throughout the day. This idea is going to be something you could do when you're already in bed so that you really have no excuse not to do it. And it can be a really great way to either wind down or kind of wake up the system in the morning. So you can either do it in bed or lying on the floor with your feet against the wall. Either way would be fine. So we're going to look at sort of general movements. I'm going to look at trying to mobilize our toes, because if you can believe it, our toes are really meant to move. And for a lot of us, they've kind of locked and become kind of one cemented unit. And so we're going to use a sock, if you can believe it, to help us to just create some passive mobility between our toes. And that's something, if you've never done toe spreading before, you want to start out really gently and gingerly, but we'll go into that. And then the last thing is going to be doing some very, very gentle massage on your feet utilizing a ball, which I'll come back to. So let's start out with just the general mobility, either warm up or wind down in the evening. So I'm going to go to the side here. So again, you could do this lying in bed. If having a straight leg is too much of a stretch on the back of the hamstrings, the back of the leg, you can keep the knee bent. The first thing is just going to be pumping the ankle back and seeing how much motion you can get in this position called dorsiflexion. It's bending the ankle so the toes come back towards the shin. This is a range of motion that a lot of us have lost, and I could go into why in a different video. But for now, just see if you can get some movement there, okay? Then the next thing is just rolling the ankles. You can do this as many times as you want. I tend to do 10 just for the sake of symmetry, and then go the other way. This can also be a really good assessment. As you do this, do you notice one direction feels easier than the other? And then maybe focus on the direction that's harder. Do you notice that your toes are really tense, either curled down or kind of stuck back? Just trying to chill them out a little bit. After you do that, you can take a little rest for a second. The next thing is going to be, can you spread your toes? And then take a look. For me, I have a really hard time on my left foot getting my second and third digits to spread apart from each other. The other ones go pretty decently. And then just work on that. Next is going to be, can you bend your big toe in isolation from the rest of your toes? Can you bend the other toes away from your big toe? So that's going to be just looking at some general movement patterns with the feet in a really super chill, passive position. The next thing is going to be to passively move your toes away from each other, utilizing a sock. So if any of you have gotten pedicures before, you know they put the little toe spacers. You could totally use one of those as well. But just like often at the salon, they'll just use paper towel or that sort of thing to wrap around the toes, same idea. And if you've never done this before, I would start by just 2 to 3 minutes and just see how it feels. I noticed the first time I did it, it just felt really weird for the first couple of times. And then the more I started doing it, I can do this for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then I take it off. And I honestly can feel that my toes feel almost like they've been given a stretch. So it's a super easy way. You can do that while you're watching TV, for 2-3 minutes to start, and you can build from there. The third thing is going to be utilizing a ball. Now, I used to be a big advocate of lacrosse balls for all kinds of tissue work, from releasing hips to shoulders, all sorts of things. But the more I've learned and the more research that comes out, the more I've come to understand that some of these tools can just be a little bit more aggressive, and we're not really in a no pain, no gain situation when it comes to tissue work, because what often will happen is it's going to instigate a bracing or a fight or flight response from our nervous system, which is really going to be counterproductive to getting our tension level to drop. Because anytime we're doing tissue work, whether it's manually me working on you, utilizing a ball, we're trying to tick down the tension level. So if we're doing something so hard that we kind of get that bracing effect, it's not going to be potentially as effective. So this is actually a set of balls that I got recently from a company called Tune Up Fitness. And these are it comes in a pack of 2. So if you want to find more about that, just Google tuneupfitness.com. It should come up. I just give you the website, tuneupfitness.com. There you go. So, and what you can do is just get the ball and just start by just gently rolling on your foot. And then you can kind of go in different directions. If you want to get more pressure, you could put more of your body weight onto that ball and just roll around until you find a cranky spot. And then you could just hang on that cranky spot for a while until you feel that tension dial just go down a little bit, and then find a different one. And, if you've never worked on your feet before, maybe you start with 2 to 3 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes on each feet, and just see how it feels, and you can build up from there. Again, these are things you could do while you're, both of those last 2 you could do while you're watching TV. And the first one you could do right before you go to bed or when you first get up in the morning. And I'll do more videos along the way with more active ways to increase mobility and awareness to our feet and our feet mechanics. But hopefully these can be things that you could use to just start to get more circulation, more movement in those feet, that area of the body that is so very important to our whole body health, but is so often ignored. So if you have any further questions, you want to chat more, definitely send me a message, give me a call, give me a text, and I would love to catch up. Thank you so much. Have a good day.